Do you know that feeling when you eat a big meal, maybe for your lunch break, and after that you're tired, lazy, you don't want to work, you can't even focus, and you're just not motivated to do any hard work or to go to the gym or whatever? Let me just assume you know that feeling. But the point of today's video is that on the flip side, if you don't eat, you actually restrain yourself. You don't eat all the time and you also don't eat until you're full. That will actually give you energy and it will make you more motivated and more encouraged to go outside, to do shit, to do work, to focus and to actually be productive. That's why I purposefully keep myself hungry for most of the day. And I actually think you should as well. Not convinced yet? Let me explain. So for context, here is a little bit of background about myself. As a kid, I'd say I was pretty energetic. But over time, as I grew older, I kind of noticed that energy a bit fading away. When I was around 20 years old, I noticed that I was often lazy. I was unmotivated. I didn't want to get up and actually do shit. I had big goals and dreams, but yet I found myself laying in bed thinking I need to relax, I need some time off, I need to recharge. But what did I actually do that day? Sit at my PC for 2 hours. I was often working from home and after just 1 or 2 hours of actual work, I would feel lethargic, tired, and I would lay down on my bed just to relax and recharge, like I said. But even at that time, I was thinking to myself, Jeremy, you're 20 years old, you're literally prime age for energy. You're a young, healthy male who is supposed to be working all the time or fighting in wars, taking care of his family, all those things that we did, especially some years ago. But now in this new age, I'm getting tired at sitting on a chair for a couple of hours. I did not want to accept that. I wanted energy because I knew energy is important. If you don't have energy, you won't do the work. And then because of that, you won't reach your goals either. And I also knew that when I'm getting older, I'm probably not gonna have more energy automatically. I'll probably have less energy. So I had to change something about that. And if you can kind of relate to this, if you know that deep inside you should be at your peak of energy because you're also around 15 to 30 years old, but yet you're unmotivated, you lack energy, bro, we have to fix that. That's what I'm telling you, but I also told myself back then. So because of that, I tried so many different things, different diets, different habits, really a lot. And I'm making videos about all those learning lessons. But one thing that I especially discovered recently is that just keeping yourself hungry, not eating, and when you eat, to just eat a little bit, that can actually be super powerful for your energy. And I mean, it makes sense, right? When you're not full, your body is yearning food because of course we need food to survive, and therefore we simply bring up more energy. Some would say we are in hunting mode. It's a bit of bro science right there, but actually try that. Like I've said in the beginning of this video, you probably can relate to eating a big meal and then just feeling tired and lazy. And if you ever fasted, then you know that when you're not eating, you might even have trouble falling asleep. You will have so much more energy when you are not eating, when you're fasting. Now, of course, there will probably come a limit at some point, but we can go a long time without eating. And you also don't have to push it to the extreme, but it really does work. And if you never tried it, you have to do now. There are some productive and successful people that just eat once a day. You're broke! And to me, it makes sense. I'm not going to say this is the healthiest way or this is the best way, but when I also tried eating just one meal a day, oh mad. First, it was actually easier than expected. And secondly, I really got a lot more shit done. I was way more productive. So when you do that, you simply don't eat for most of the day. And then in the evening or afternoon, not right before going to sleep because that's also bad, but eating in the afternoon or evening will give you so much more focus and energy and therefore also motivation throughout the first hours of your day to actually get shit done. Nice. Trust me, I've tried so many things, but this is one of the best techniques, especially one of the best techniques that everybody always can do. So maybe you're now wondering, well, when do I eat exactly and how much do I eat? Now the obvious answer would be that it really depends, but it's true. To me, it's a mixture of how I feel, what I have planned for that day, and also what time it is. So it really does depend. But for example, I don't want loud stomach sounds when I'm sitting in the quiet library. But when I'm home alone, I don't care. So generally, as a rule of thumb, wait as long as possible for breakfast. So when you're not feeling hungry, don't eat breakfast. And then you wait. Maybe you will have that urge, like you're feeling like, okay, usually I eat breakfast now. Kind of want to eat something now too. Here, you just have to ignore it. You don't have to always ignore it, but generally from my experience, you will have that feeling. Not every day, but I think especially when you ate breakfast before regularly, but now suddenly you stop, chances are pretty high that you will have that urge. You want to eat just something. But when you actually ignore that, maybe the first day you will think too much about food, but the second day or the third day, you will not have that feeling anymore. You will not have that urge, and then you will have that productivity, that focus, that clear mind from the moment you wake up until almost however long you want. So just get over that tiny urge. But if you really feel like you have to eat something, you can't focus, you're way too distracted, your stomach feels a little bit, it's not really feeling good, all right, go ahead, eat something. But then my advice, I just eat a little bit. 1 protein bar, a handful of nuts, 2 eggs, or whatever. But don't eat too much. Just a little snack. And this is also what I do when I have to go outside and I really don't want the stomach sounds. I just eat a little bit beforehand. A banana, for example. Whatever is your preferred diet, just eat, like I said, a little bit. Then I wait as long as possible again. So maybe that first snack will be at 11 a.m. If possible, I even push it out to up to 2 p.m. Once you've tried OMAD for some time, that's actually becoming a lot easier. So then I get back to work after that first snack. And then, of course, a couple of hours later, you're gonna have that urge again. Then I actually either have another snack or I have my first meal. But that meal still isn't as big. It's not really filling me up. And it's also not heavily carb loaded. But that's the point of this video. Just keep yourself hungry. You can eat whenever you want. I don't want to make it too complicated. And you can also eat whatever you want, sort of. Of course, we can optimize there, but just to bring home this idea of this video, keep yourself hungry. If you eat breakfast or lunch, don't eat until you're full. I'm often just eating like 40% of being full. And then you get back to work and you actually still have that energy. You still have that focus. And then, after you've done all your work, maybe in the afternoon or the evening even, probably around 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's when I have most of my calories, most of my meals, and I'm actually eating until I'm full. Because after that, I'm just chilling anyways. Like yeah, often I will still continue working, but if I can choose, I would probably prioritize getting most of my work done, then eating, not overeating, but until relatively full. And then socializing, reading, going for walks, whatever you want. Something that doesn't require you to really focus, really bring some motivation or to really have a lot of energy. Something that's a bit more recharging for your body and your mind. But in the end, it's going to be up to you. You will have to experiment a lot with this, but generally, I don't think it does matter too much when you eat and how much you eat and what you eat, as long as you just keep yourself a bit hungry. It's going to give you way more energy. And if you still don't believe me, just give it a try yourself. Just 1 week of eating later in the day. Try it and you will agree, trust me.